You know.
Hello, kiddies. Welcome to Dads From The Crypt.
Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to our season 6 live stream of Tales from the Crypt. We have an amazing packed house tonight with people that worked on the 2 episodes we'll be discussing tonight, Only Skin Deep and You Murderer. First off, we have director William Malone.
Hello.
Hello, William.
Glad to be here.
Great to have you. And then we have the star of Only Skin Deep, Miss Sherry Rose.
Hi guys, nice to see everybody.
And joining us is special effects guru, master, all the things, Mr. Todd Masters.
All the things you want to call me. Yes, hello everybody.
And then, of course, we have producer Gil Adler.
I'm back again, like a bad pen.
And our favorites, Uncle Al Katz.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm so glad we were able to get everyone together. William, it was a pleasure to meet you at Monster Palooza this weekend.
Oh, it was great. It was great to meet you. It was a great event and eye-opening for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sherry, it's good to see you as always.
Nice
After the
to meet you.
Demon Night event, did you guys find your car in the parking garage that night?
Probably.
Oh, is that your car? I see.
Right.
I might have fixed it myself.
So while we're all gathering, so Al and Gil, I kind of like to hear like the state of the crypt going into season 6.
We were still on top of the world. We were now, again, everything before this morning is a blur, but at what point did Demon Night happen?
Let's see, that was 94, I believe.
I think
And
94.
season-
That's
Yeah,
So
I think we
We had-
shot it during the hiatus right before this.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Demon Knight was prepping or actually no, it was shooting as I was prepping the Tales from the Crypt episode. That would have been early 94.
So yeah, I was just trying to figure out the juxtaposition of Demon Night and season 6. So we were still, we were still in the thick of it. Going into season 6, there was a lot. We still had a lot of juice.
Was there?
And we had a
like,
lot going on because we're prepping 2 shows, shooting 1 show, posting 1 show, and also prepping the movie.
Yeah. So there was a lot happening.
Was there any burnout from going like from the movie to the show so quickly?
Sure,
Oh,
sure there
yes.
was.
Not at all. No.
No, the burnout started 4 years earlier.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now,
I think
now,
we were born burnout.
now, Gil, were you working on Bordello of Blood at that point? Gil?
Gee, I don't know.
I think
Think
the
so.
script was, we were working on the script.
Yeah, I don't think we were into production.
Because it seems
or-
like I heard
or-
talk about it or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It just
I don't remember
seems like
if this happened before. It seems to me it happened before, and Bordello was a little bit later.
I think the
Yeah,
timeline of
Bordello
early
was
90s
later.
These are the
Bordello
questions you
definitely
should
was
ask
later,
us like
but-
30 years ago, Jason. We would have known a little better.
I think maybe around this time we were working on the New Orleans script.
Yes, we were.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Bordello Blood was just like a twinkle in the nightmare of.
That showed up at the last second.
Right.
But
So
you're
we
working
were
probably
developing Dead Easy.
Dead Easy.
Yeah, Demon Night was doing what it did, and we were prepping the 6th season.
Oh,
Life was good.
Yeah, I think we were very much in our groove at that point because we had worked together pretty much as a complete unit for a while. Sherry, I think you were like in every other episode.
Oh, that would have been lovely. I
No,
would have
we-
loved that. But
We kept trying to get Sherry into as much as possible because we loved working with her, and so we'd cover her up and turn her into this, put her in the movie, and all that stuff. But we were all very much. We do it.
No, I was going to say, yeah, that's because I remember that you guys suggested Sherry for the part, and and she was an obvious great choice. So
oh, thanks, you guys. I feel the love.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, by the way, I just wanted to say you were such a bold and daring actor to take this role on, and I really appreciated it because it was in a lot of ways it was a thankless role because you're naked through part of it and you're wearing a mask through it and the contact lenses and oh my God! So thank you so much for that.
I think it's a testament too of trusting Gil and Alan and Todd and knowing them and just boldly going forward and then sometimes going, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, we're shooting night, it's crazy. I'm like, am I just naked? How long am I naked for? Like, oh my gosh. But
I would say that episode was filled with bold choices.
yes.
And it's a good thing you didn't come into our office when you were feeling that way because you would have seen Alan and me going, oh my God, what are we doing? What are we putting this woman through?
All right, let's start it up. Let's get everything cued.
Okay. And
Okay.
now we gotta put our earbuds in.
So get your earbuds, get everything queued up. So for those that are gonna be watching along, sometimes Shudder plays a little ad. So I'm gonna play a countdown video. So the best thing to do is while you see the countdown, press play, skip the intro, and then pause it right at the HBO box office screen. And then once we get to 0, we all press play. So without further ado, get my earbud in, and here we go.
For anybody who's watching for the first time, we're so glad to pop your scary.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watching fucking Tales from the Crypt.
And press play. All right. So, William, tell me about coming into the show. How were you? How was it presented to you? What ideas did you have?
Well, no, I have to say, at this point in my career, I was like a kamikaze pilot. I mean, I said, okay, this is probably the last thing I'll ever do. So just pull out all the stops and go for it. So that was my attitude. What I'd like to know is how you guys came up with Dick Beebe, because I wasn't familiar with him. He, by the way, he's the one who wrote the original screenplay.
Right.
I think it came out of conversations with HBO. HBO suggested we talk to him and meet him and have a conversation with him. And Alan, was he a friend of, or didn't he know Walter Hill?
I think so. That might have been how his connection, his familial connection. And we sent him a bunch of comic books, and he chose this one, and he was off and running.
Okay, for those watching, the Crypt Keeper is about to pop out of the coffin.
Yes, he is.
There we go.
That's our infamous Crypt set that we made at the beginning of season 1.
Oh, I think I'm watching number 1.
Actually, I never saw this stuff being shot, so
Yeah, this was usually
I guess you
separate.
did that as another unit.
Yeah, like I think
yeah.
wasn't this shot in the storage unit? Because there was a point we had it all set up on stage, and then we would strike that season, put it back up, and then finally by this season, they'd say, just leave it in the storage unit. We'll just shoot it there.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
Now, were other actresses auditioned for this role? Sherry all the way.
I don't think we thought of anybody else.
No,
I
I don't think we looked at anybody. Sherry was the deal. The only thing that was tricky, I remember, was getting the male lead, because my recollection is we didn't get Peter Onorati until the night before.
I think that's right. That was
That was scary, because I was going, we don't have anybody to be in the movie. We're starting shooting tomorrow morning. So
it's a problematic part because there's just nothing likable about him.
Yeah.
So
Peter, I bumped into him a couple months ago, and this is like one of the favorite things he's ever done. And he was on some major stuff, and yeah.
It is one of my favorite episodes that Gil and I did not write. It really is. It's just terrific.
Yeah, Al, you have mentioned this. I think when we've been talking that this is your favorite episode. Tell us why.
When we get to her environment, I think Bill made so many wonderful choices, not only in the look, and Greg created just the creepiest fucking set, but everything about just the look, the sounds, and of course your use of the lenses. It just so fucking creepy. And of course, at the center of it all is Sherry giving this performance that's half doll, half demon.
Yeah, no, Sherry made this show. She did, and
oh my goodness,
yeah.
Like I've said before in the episode, it's interesting. You guys putting me in mask and the contacts, and thank you, Todd, for making my face like that, because it was just so freeing to just be an actress, and not worry about how you look, not worry about finding your eyebrow pencil, or it was just, really being able to dive into this character, So it was really fun.
Yeah, sure. How did you approach this character?
I just, pulled from my background.
I think we talked a lot about it because, when we were coming up with the script, some of the stuff wasn't spelled out in the script, and I wanted to give the character a background, and I thought, what is she actually? And I thought, well, she's kind of an urban scavenger, and she has this curse of having this face, and I thought, she would probably just come out at night and frequent places and scavenge things from the trash, and she's probably taken over some place that's like empty, abandoned warehouse or something like that, and that's where we came up with the idea for the set. I remember, I guess because of Joel, Joel Silver, he wanted everything to be big and a lot of stuff and everything. And I remember I had to keep telling the set dressers to take stuff out because they keep putting set pieces in. I go, no, it's got to be empty. I don't want anything in there. And they would, I'd turn around, there'd be a lamp there. So no. And I got to give credit to Levy Isaac, who's the director of photography, because one of the early things I said, I told Greg Melton, who's the production designer, I said, I don't want any windows. I said, I don't want the place to have any windows. I said, but we can knock holes in the wall and see like lath and plaster and have lights coming through there. And he really latched onto it. And what was good about having the moving lights was it felt like the camera was moving even when it wasn't, just because the shadows were passing and stuff.
What's really cool is that it's an alienated space for an alienated character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it occurs to me,
real quick, what about these party scenes with like all these costumes and everything? Like the production, and costuming, just go wild with that.
That looks like Todd Masters' really Halloween party that he has.
Yeah.
Took a steady cam through it. Said start talking.
It occurs to me that there's a line that's missing from this scene. And it's as she meets him for the first time and she looks at him, she should have said something along the lines of, "You've got a really good face." She really should have. That would have been the perfect setup.
So, Todd, tell us about
Dick Beebe. Alan, call Dick Beebe. Tell him.
Right now.
Oh, one thing I do
I'll-
I do remember about the Halloween party is they showed up with one of the masks was, believe it or not, from Queen of Outer Space, 1956. I don't know why I recognized it, but I thought that was really weird. So somewhere in there is the Queen of Outer Space.
I think Peter's line where he says, deserves certain justifiable actions. And she says, I don't disagree. And I think that's part of her MO of just almost like a vigilante, or, you know, if he would have been a different person, she may not have taken that same action.
Yeah.
I think he set himself up as bait, and she absolutely took him.
Yeah.
Sherry, how was that costume? Was it
Ooh, hot.
it's pretty hot. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even have to spray me with sweat. It was just, it was hot.
Yeah. It was hot that when we were shooting.
We had so much smoke. You needed that smoke, right? But there's so much of that smoke in that hair.
I'm thinking we were shooting that in summertime.
I don't know. Was that my real hair? And they just, no, I don't think it was.
I think it's a wig.
I can't remember.
It was,
Yeah, I don't either. But
it was a wig.
Yeah,
It was a wig.
might have come
So
from our
Todd,
box of wigs.
walk me through the makeup she's wearing.
You know, it's funny. We were talking earlier, you know, we were all such a groove, and, you know, we were processing productions, you know, really quickly. It was like manufacturing good stuff, but we all also in sync. And then Bill comes along, as I recall, and he kind of opened up our eyes a lot. You know, like he's mentioning about the set deck and all that kind of stuff. We all kind of like, we're all of a sudden, oh, we have a fresh person, a fresh creative, and you were really exciting, Bill. You're still very exciting, but
Well, thank you.
you kind of came in with just your guns barreling, and I remember we had drawings of this, but I also remember, and help me here, because I remember at some point you sculpted part of this. Oh, there it is, beautiful. There it is. Look at that.
Yeah, I did a sketch of it, and what happened was, because I thought you guys, I went over your shop, and you guys were on the right track, but it was one of those things that if you sculpt, it's easier just to do it than to explain to somebody else what you want. So,
And you actually,
so you
have
were very
those.
kind, by the way.
I don't remember.
I have to say you were very kind about that, because I was afraid of stepping on your toes, and you were so good about it.
Oh, well, you're a gentleman and a real good artist, so why the hell not? I mean, it's Crypt. You have days, maybe hours to do certain makeup effects that should take months. So you have to kind of just keep pushing it. And if there's a talent like Bill Malone that walks through the door and wants to change something, fuck yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
Well, thank you. By the way, I have to say that the thing that you did with the mask in the end, when it's revealed, the reveal is great. In fact, I don't know if you noticed, when we'll get to it later on, but you know, during that reveal, Sherry did such a good job of looking like she got hurt by the saw that the camera crew was about to hit the switch and shut it off. I said, no, she's acting.
Dang you. That's awesome.
So Todd, tell me, what actually is the material that you're using there? Like, what's giving it that?
This is a foam latex mask that we made a number of for how many days she played. I think we might have reused them once or twice. But it's painted with this really cool iridescence that kind of gives us that China doll reflection, which we really liked. So yeah, that kind of stuff. And she doesn't take it off or anything, apparently.
This is coming through the ceiling shot, which
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing
Are
that?
any of the masks still in existence?
A great shot, Bill. A great shot.
Yeah.
Really
Oh,
cool
thank
shot.
you.
Yeah.
Well, this whole
I would be
without
sorry.
having the windows in, and just what you're saying, just with the set design and the stuff that you talked about, like it just really changes everything, you know?
Right.
This-
I mean, it was a different episode. It felt different, like many of the others. You know, every director comes in with their own flavors. But Bill's, I just remember Bill, you know, like this lens thing that you brought in, and it's like, I'm just like, wow, this guy's amazing. So.
Well, thank you. You're very kind, really.
No, William, earlier
That
you were
eye
showing us
shot there is.
Well, yeah, the closer. You don't usually get
We just saw
on your makeups. So it's so impressive.
Yeah, the
to
makeup
see it.
held,
Well, I think we
held
did
up
that-
really well.
And I love that he has like
Yeah,
a
that one
gold
shot though.
mask.
Yeah, he looks great. He looks creepy too. That one close up of your eye, I think, is totally without the mask. I seem to recall we wanted to do that just with paint.
Now, William, earlier you were telling us about one of the lenses you used.
Yeah, it's actually, you'll see it coming up here shortly, but it's this lens here, actually, which is an old cinemascope.
That's
This
such
is
a cool
Bob.
shot too, Bill. That's a wonderful
Amazing,
shot right there.
amazing shot.
Really.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Fucking
Yeah, I
cool.
got this at a camera swap meet. They're now quite valuable, but at the time
You're
nobody wanted.
serious?
This
And
is
here
one of
you
the
go. This is
lenses they use
wonderful,
for 20,000
wonderful
leagues
shot
under
right
the
here.
sea.
Awesome.
Awesome.
What's happening now?
Todd,
Great
do you know
sequence.
if any of the masks are still in existence?
I don't have any. Bill, did you keep one, or Sherry, did you keep one?
I don't have
I
any. I
have-
think also to get them off, we had to kind of scrub them
Kinda
off.
just-
Like they're
yeah,
almost
we kinda have to
embedded into my
destroy 'em.
face. They weren't like
I
you
have
couldn't
one.
peel it off.
I have one that's on the mannequin. It's on a mannequin with the dress.
Oh, I
And,
got-
uh,
I got to get
Oh
a
really?
picture
Oh,
of that.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
very
great.
crusty, but I'm trying to figure out some way of, stabilizing it. But so
Yeah,
far
I-
it looks okay.
So if you see here, I have one of
Maybe
them,
scan it.
not that one, but a different one in the case.
I still don't know who. I was trying to ask Todd, like, who has my body from On a Dead Man's Chest. I don't know who. Do you have it, Todd?
I mean, this is a gazillion years ago, so it's probably long gone. Some of that stuff doesn't really have a shelf life,
Yeah.
so it just kind of rots. I think we might have done your chest in gelatin, actually, because it was very translucent, and so we made your chest out of cow hooves. So I don't think it lasted. I think it melted away somewhere in North Hollywood.
Are we still rolling, or are we in the ad zone?
I'm still watching something, unless
Takes the
I actually
drink.
did a nice subscription to Shudder for the year so that I could stay on top.
I got to mention Greg Melton doing a great job on the sets. One of the things that I wanted was ceilings, and he was kind enough to put ceilings on them, which is very hard to get usually because, if you shoot low angle, you're going to see the ceiling. So,
Right. I love hearing all this background stuff that you guys didn't have casting and all the lenses and all the stuff that went in and the idea of no windows. It's so great because, I'm not privy to that as an actress, right? I just show up and everything looks pretty much seamless as producers and directors make us feel. So it's great to hear this backstory, even from my point of view, because I have never heard this stuff before.
oh, that's cool. I got to say, Gil was very supportive, and Alan, you guys were really great on this, and I was really appreciative.
Well,
'Cause
one
you-
of the
you-
things
you
I wanted to mention is, Jason, and you haven't asked us this question: is why did we pick Bill, or when or how did we pick Bill? You asked about
Yeah,
Dick Beebe,
go for
but
it.
not Bill.
I
And I
just assumed it was his talent was self-evident.
No, I was
Well,
cheap.
Bill was the kind of guy, with all these directors, we always want to get the best work out of the people. And we have our limitations of money and time and all that goes with it. But we always want to accommodate what their vision is because that's what we feel is important and what we're buying. And with Bill, when you talk about the ceiling pieces, I remember having, talks with Bill, maybe a little bit stronger than talks with Bill about ceiling pieces and how much that was going to cost and how much are we going to really use it and all that. But we did it because he felt very clearly it was important to him, And then we looked at each other and said, it's important to him. We got to make that work. And, with all of these directors, whether it be Billy Friedkin or Frankenheimer or Zemeckis or Donner, we want to get the best work out of them, and we want to support them as much as possible. And with Bill, with all of these guys, we argue, we beat each other up, and at the end of the day, we resolve it and we move on. And that's how it was with all the directors, including Bill. There were some hot spots along the way, but we always resolved it. And at the end of the day, our objective was to make sure that not only that would HBO like it or Bill Gaines like it, but that Bill was happy with it, not Bill Gaines, but Bill Malone, and that we were happy with it as well. And so, you don't often get directors like Bill who have a specific intention, they have a specific image, they know what they want to do, and they know how to do it. Elliot Silverstein was another guy that, he knew that stuff. And, we had terrible arguments with him too, but, we had the most fun with him, and we had the most fun with Bill. And, there's a reason why years later, I think it was years later, when we did House on Haunted Hill, who did we go to direct House on Haunted Hill? Bill Malone. So, it's really kudos to him in terms of what he did, not only with this show, but with House on Haunted Hill and with our entire relationship working with each other. We would beat each other up and then, have a coffee and a donut.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're arguing, it's because you're fighting for what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah. And we always invited that, with all the directors. I mean, some of them would beat us up really badly, like, Frankenheimer or Billy Friedkin.
Billy Friedkin,
some less so. But we always had that, and that's just part of the course.
If you're not butting heads on a regular basis, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's just how passionate, how much you care.
You know what I love?
Exactly.
The tension, Bill. It's interesting because both directors I worked with were William, but then we call William Bill. But both of them were Williams, William Friedkin and William Malone. I love that. I just put that together. But I love the way that you are bringing in, like, you can feel the tension with Peter when he's digging through her stuff, and you could also feel the stillness of my character when she was lying in the bed and just. You allowed me to just have that stillness and not peel off, where it's just uncomfortable stillness, and then this phoneticness. I love it. It's great. And a lot of people just usually peel off. They don't allow it to sit there.
Well, I thought you were giving us some great stuff, so I'm not going to interrupt that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're just showing your lens off a little bit here. What are you spinning the barrel? How is that work?
Actually, this does spin, but actually what I was doing is if you just cock it on the camera, anything you do looks wonky. So you don't actually even have to spin it. You just this is actually you're able to rotate this actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
and you just lock it off and then on the camera.
With all these different cameras,
a few cameos,
effects, how was the editing and post process? Was it more difficult than normal?
Actually, I thought it went really well, and it was actually fairly straightforward, as I recall. And I remember doing a temp track to it over the weekend, and I felt when we finished the show and I was going to turn it in, I felt like it was a little bomb, and I was either going to get thrown off the lot, or that maybe they'd really like it. I didn't know which one it was going to be. And it's funny because when I came in that morning, I remember I get this call from Joel Silver wants to talk to you right now. And I went, oh God, here it is. And then I get there and he goes off on me how great the episode was, and I said, okay, thank you.
How, as a director with Tales from the Crypt, how involved do you get to be with the edit and with the sound?
I was very involved. The thing about it is because it was season 6, a lot of the stuff had already, the show was like a well-oiled machine at that point, so there really, things moved, I thought, pretty smoothly. My show was only 4 days long, and most The other shows were, I think, were 5 or something like that, except for Bob Zemeckis, which is coming up. But I felt like I had plenty of time because everything was just working. And, one of the things I remember about shooting is there's a scene when Peter Onorati first shows up in your apartment there. And I remember that there was a camera move. I was on him, and the camera turns and looks at Sherry, at you. And suddenly I just said, I want to move the camera. I just looked at the camera crew and said, like that. They went, okay. And they made the move without even, somebody else, some other crew would have gone, what the fuck's he want? I don't know. But yeah, it was great.
So William, for that effect with the ghost that's like kind of shaking, what effect is that?
That was something I was experimenting with. Actually, I'd shot some tests with it before, and what it was is we rehearsed the scene at normal speed, and then I'd have the script supervisor clock it with a stopwatch, and then we'd shoot it at like 4 or 5 frames per second, and I would have them move at whatever that was, 1/5 normal speed, and no matter how you do it, it's going to look weird, and that's what we used, and we used it to a much greater extent in House on Haunted Hill.
Right. Yeah, a lot about that movie.
These faces in the cabinet here are from various other pictures that we have done, because of course everything. Yeah, there's one from The Mangler. Toby Hooper, our buddy, directed that. Face of one of the people in that, and a few of the others are just kind of borrowed out of molds because of time. Looks like Michael Lerner there.
It's so sad that we lost Toby. He was such a good guy.
Yeah.
And a great last shot, Bill.
Actually, I'm behind the times here.
Oh, sorry. So, well, when you get to
Spoiler.
it, it's a great last shot.
Spock dies.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where we were, so.
Yeah, I forgot I was using the blood for lipstick.
Yeah. Yeah, super.
What's weird about that last shot is that when we shot it, I kept thinking, I need a last shot. And I didn't think that was it, And then when I saw it playback, I said, okay, yeah, that works. Okay.
Oh,
I remember I was struggling,
But it works perfectly. And there's something so interesting in Sherry at that moment. There's almost a touch of innocence to the character.
Well, I love the little white dress and the little white, neck, because she's just still, like she says, I was born this way, right? So she's got this body bag and yet this really sweet, I'm sure wardrobe did, you guys had many discussions about what she would be wearing there.
She's just a broken little girl.
Aww.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's probably
he should have been nicer to her.
All right. Again, that's a classic episode. Congrats, William, Sherry, Todd, everyone that worked on it. It's a very memorable.
Well,
fan
congrats
favorite.
all you guys all made it happen. So thank you so much. And Sherry, you're like I said, you're a bold and brave actress and great. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm still here if you need me.
Okay. All right.
All right, Sherry, I know you have to run, but thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'll leave my browser open?
Yeah, but you can leave the room.
Okay.
We swear we won't.
And
Take care, Sherry.
Okay.
Your
Bye-bye.
eyebrows look great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
All right. And well, William, you're welcome to leave or join us or stay with us for You Murder. Totally up to you. You can hang.
Well, I'll hang with you. Actually, yeah, I was around when this was being shot.
Oh, really?
In fact, I shot background plates for Bob Zemeckis.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. You have some stuff
cool.
to tell
All
us.
right.
So
Maybe you can do a Bob Zemeckis impersonation for us all the way through.
Yeah, I've got one. What do the ghosts want?
all right. Without further ado, let's tee up that episode. Remember, this is episode 15, last of this season.
Yeah.
And let me do the countdown video, and then we'll press play.
How do I get there? Hold on.
Just go to episodes.
Okay, hold on. Episodes, yeah. Is it season 6?
Yep. Last episode.
End of season 6, yeah.
You murderer. Here we go.
There we go. Okay. Pressing play or pressing doing the countdown now.
For anybody who's watching for the first time, we're so glad to pop your scary.
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watching fucking Tales from the Crypt.
Hold on.
Pressing play.
All righty.
Right. Al
Off
and
and
Gil,
rolling.
tell us about the idea for this episode. What Bob came up with.
Well,
We used to always talk about Bob would only do things that I think I've said this before were different. He wanted to do things that hadn't been done before, and so he would invite us over to his office on Universal by offering us deli sandwiches and chocolate chip cookies.
although
and so
in this instance, we drove up to his place outside of Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
got
yeah.
to Santa Barbara, he had this spread for us from that
Oh, it's great.
that deli in right on that strip there on Olive Street. Remember?
That part I don't remember, but
Yeah. So we went to Bob's house and we had our chocolate chip cookies and stuff. And he said, "So, who did you like when you were a kid? Who were your favorite stars?" And I think we said,
well, actually, Gil, the way that he put it, because before he even got there, first he said, because he had chosen the comic "You Murderer," and he said to us after we pushed lunch aside, he said, "All I know is I want to do a single camera show completely from the point of view of a dead guy."
right.
That was what he put on the table first. That was the big idea. And then he said, and the dead guy was going to be played by, well, hey, who was the biggest star of all? It was Humphrey Bogart. And so the challenge was he wanted, again, because it had to be challenging, every time well, first of all, it was going to be single camera, so completely from one character's perspective all the way through. And then every time we passed a reflective surface, we were going to see Humphrey Bogart. And these were going to be clips that we were going to take from, at the end of the day, there were 18 shots, 18 Bogart movies. We would then have to figure out a way to get into that little clip and get out of the clip so that the dialogue or the moments made sense. So right off the bat, it was this huge puzzle. And finally, he put all this in front of us and he said, all right, guys, how are we going to do this? Which was the typical Bob question. How impossible assignment. How are we going to do this? Not how are you going to do this, but how are we going to do this? And that's how it started.
So this infamous Forrest Gump bit, was that Robert's idea, or did you guys come up with on your own, or what's the
I think that was in the air, as it were. Wasn't it, Gil?
I don't know, I'm having some difficulty hearing and sort of like a.
Yeah.
It's okay now. No. Are you hearing this?
Yeah. We are picking that up.
I don't know what that's from. No, it stopped.
Sounds like you're gargling.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think you're picking up our voices coming at you.
Oh, I'm back. Maybe it's Humphrey Bogart telling us he liked the show a lot or didn't like the show a lot.
He should have liked it.
I still say John Lithgow is one of the most underappreciated actors of all time.
Oh, holy cow! Yes,
Absolutely.
and a lovely guy too.
What was there a point where you guys started talking about shooting at like Lady of the Lake, or how did that kind of, because it's sort of a Lady in the Lake noir mystery.
Well, the comic book, it was a very noir comic book, and so because it was Bogart, it was going to be noir. Now, then once we decided to cast Isabella, well, then things got really interesting because Isabella decided that she wanted to play the part. She wanted to do it like her mom.
Right.
In Casablanca. That was a choice that she wanted to make, and I think Bob was down with that.
How can you turn that down?
One of the coolest moments. Go for it, Bill.
No, I was going to say, I had walked on the set. Bob Zemeckis had asked me to do some work on just shoot some like a second unit stuff for him. Like I couldn't say no to that. But I walked down onto the set and I saw Isabella decked out like her mother, and I almost lost my lunch. It was so uncanny, to see her, walking around.
The coolest experience was when Isabella came in for her wardrobe fitting, and so we all wanted to be part of this. And the point of the exercise was she wanted to look like her mom in Casablanca. So she would come out of, where all the wardrobe was into the room where we could all see her. And it was one of those pinch me moments where you're watching Isabella Rossellini trying to look like her mom in Casablanca. And you're standing there watching this.
You're in
How
Casablanca.
Fucking insane is that?
Did she have the same thing with the left side of her face that her mom had? Remember, her mom only wanted to be filmed from her left side.
I don't recall Isabella being quite that fussy.
Okay, I'm just curious how far she took it.
And considering how she let David Lynch photograph her, I don't think she was fussy at all.
Now, what's funny is, for a lot of people in the audience, especially if you're younger, when I was, like in middle school or whatever, when I first saw this episode, I was like, no, I didn't know who any of these people were or any of that history. I was just like, as long as these went over my head, I'm like, okay.
I think this was one of the shortest episodes we've ever done as well.
Yeah, well, the gag can only go so far.
Right. But it still took 3 weeks to shoot, right?
Really?
No, I don't know. But we always gave lots of time for the partners when they jumped in to direct.
But the only one that we went really over with Bob was on Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I think on this one we stuck to the 5 days. I don't think we went over.
What we did do on this one, usually it was 5 and 5 prep, 5 shoot, but Bob got 2 extra days on this one, as I recall, because we wanted to choreograph the crew. And on the very first day of prep, Greg had built a 4-wall set because the camera had to be able to see everything. The camera had to be completely free to go anywhere and everywhere. So Bob invited everybody onto the set, including craft services. Everybody came onto the set, and Bob said, all right, I think the shot's going to start over here. And he was down in one corner. And then I think... what happens then? All right, then this happens. So that's going to take us over here to this part of the set. Then we're going to go over here to this, and then it finishes over here down in that part of the set. So then we got to get over here, and having then walked us through this crazy bit of choreography, he then turned and looked at us all and asked the same question that he had asked Gil and I at the start of it all. All right, guys, how are we going to do this? But that's the wonderful experience of working with Bob. He puts down an impossible assignment, and collectively we're going to solve the impossible assignment. You can put out a suggestion that might not work all the way, but really you couldn't put out a bad suggestion. And so everyone felt absolutely free to contribute to this thing of ours. It is part of Bob Zemeckis's long-term success. That he really the very best in everybody who works with him.
Right. Right.
It's the epitome of how to
You
be a
know,
great
Bob is great
collaborator.
because
That's Bob.
the truth is Bob is great, and the truth is he knows how to shoot this stuff. He
Oh, yeah.
he
Yes,
knows
he
exactly
does.
what
Yes,
it's going to
he
take,
does.
but he
But
just
he's
lets everybody. Just
always trying to
contribute, and
reinvent it, though. That's the
he
fun
asks,
with
but
him.
he knows in his head.
Spot exactly right. He already. It's not. He's not really asking because he hasn't a fucking clue. He's asking because he's got something. But what can the group bring that would yes and to an even better solution to his solution to the
Yeah.
problem? That
Right.
he really is. Everything I know about collaborating, I learned from that guy.
A famous quote of Bob's is he walks in the middle of a set, surrounded by a team, and he says, "I got an idea," and the whole crew goes, "Oh." It's always better. It's
Yeah.
always better. He makes you work for it, definitely, but it's always better. And it's always
Oh my goodness.
it just cracks me up. I think we should all get together and do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So is this episode shorter than the others?
I don't think so. It's about average.
Is the running time shorter on this episode?
It's about
Okay.
10 minutes, I think.
It's
isn't it?
27 minutes. That's
27 minutes. God, how did we pull that off?
Yeah.
Lots of leader. So this came pretty quickly following the Forrest Gump film that
Yeah.
Bob directed. So was this kind of delivered as kind of a package, like we're going to use some of the Forrest Gump technology for Tales from the Crypt? Was that how it was sort of kind of brought together?
There was a connection of some sort, as I recall. I forget what Bob was experimenting on, or he had something else in his head.
Right.
Of course, he always did.
Right. Well, it was still pretty early in the digital revolution. So this was, Forrest Gump was very revolutionary, even though it was sort of, techniques that had been used before, but they just pushed it. And then when this came in, the big revolution was that we were doing it for television, which, of course, cram it together, do it as fast as you can with no budget.
So we have a friend in the chat who worked on the props department
great.
for a lot of these seasons. Miguel Baca.
Oh,
Hi, Miguel.
fantastic. Bravo.
Yeah, he says he said that he missed you, Todd, at Monsterpalooza. He went on Saturday, wore his Tales crew jacket.
Ah,
which
crap.
still fit just a
Sorry
little
to miss you,
tighter.
dude.
But,
We were really, all of us were so, not just props, but art department, makeup, hair. We were all just like a big family, which is something that, I still do a lot of TV, and it's never going to be like Tales from the Crypt was.
Yeah, a couple comments he make. I just want to paraphrase. He said this is the most thought out episode for every single shot he's ever worked on by a director. And he said on the first morning, Isabella and Robert came through the stage elephant doors, being backlit by the morning sun. It was it was very surreal.
Why doesn't he just come over? Come over. We'll make queso or something. I don't know. What do we make these days? Be fun to see you, though. These shows were pretty complicated to put together because it wasn't like, we were doing a normal TV series where things were consistently the same. These were each anthologies, always different. That was the whole point of the show, is to do something different each time. And so it kept all the departments like props and art and makeup effects and all of us just humming, just trying to keep up with this monster, because you would be shooting one, prepping one, and wrapping one all at the same time.
Indeed. And a constant challenge on each.
Yeah. And these were shot on film, right? As I recall.
Right.
This is still film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was Super 8. No. Kidding.
Disconnect him, will you please?
Yeah. Goodbye. I'm going to go hang out with Mr. Barker.
Just go back on.
No, we always
like
had
John
two in
Lithgow.
prep, one in shooting, and two in post. So we always had 5 shows working.
Right.
Those were the days.
Does anybody know whether or not these were rescanned? Were these episodes rescanned at like?
I've been
4K
trying
or
to get
anything?
someone from Shudder to give me some information, but no one's responded, so we don't know.
I recall someone saying that during the big Universal fire that the IP was burned. So I don't know. Maybe there's. I don't know. I mean,
there's nothing. There hasn't been anything official.
Yeah, it's hard to find high res stuff for this though. Which, in terms of my makeup effects, that's a good thing because I don't want you to look too closely what we're trying to pull together. Then.
But I was on a nostalgia trip last week, and I decided to watch one of my favorite childhood movies, which was Harry and the Hendersons. John Lithgow
that movie's great.
The father character, and it's so funny because there's a movie. It's on Shudder. If you want to see John Lithgow really going for it, it's called Rule of Jenny Penn. It's a movie starring John Lithgow in a nursing home. He plays a psychopath.
Wow, he's a good psychopath. I did a Brian
with Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, with Jeffrey Rush. He's very intense, very scary.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
He used to do cartoons of the
crazy,
entire crew, like a big cartoon crew shot, and he would give it out to the crew. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long you could do that for, but he's quite an artist. Pretty soon we switch to dummy cam. We have a camera on the neck of a dummy that we see on occasion.
And who's doing the voice impersonation?
Oh, what was his name? It wasn't Tony Lacey. It was Robert. Oh, Robert. I forget Robert.
Saki?
Yeah, Robert Saki. He could have done better. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, now DaVinci Resolve has a thing where you can just copy anybody's voice. I had Orson Welles give my friend a call. That's got potential. He was feeling bad about filmmaking, so I said, I'll have Orson Welles give him a pep talk.
Oh, that's good. An AI giving him a pep talk. That's pretty funny.
Isabel is really fun in this, I gotta say.
Different performance than she's done before.
Yeah, she really got into it.
Yeah, she's kind of playing comedy bigger than I can remember her being in.
Absolutely, yeah. She's having the time of her life. She really went for it, that was the point of the exercise. I mean, John Lithgow was wonderful too, but he's used to doing this kind of shit.
Well, maybe kind of like what Sherry says, in that case, the mask.
Yeah, she's hilarious in Blue Velvet.
Oh, she's great. Yeah. But yeah, here she has a ton of freedom to just kind of do something just for a few days and just, have some fun with it for Bob Zemeckis. I believe that's a dummy cam shot. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm at a POV of them pulling legs kind of thing.
Yeah, pulling up a set of stairs.
Yeah, exactly. Bump, 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 bump.
Yep. Bump the head bump, head bump.
Good Foley work.
This was another cool set by Greg. I remember it being pretty big too.
Yeah. There had to be room to move in.
Yeah.
And of course, the door with the mirror inside. Yeah. Fantastic.
Greg and I used to always joke about he would have to make a lot of basements for Tales from the Crypt. It's like almost, every 3 episodes would be another basement for him to build. We always thought that was really funny. He's like, yeah, what are you doing this week? A basement? Yeah. Here he doesn't have any basements, but many, many other episodes.
That's a fairly hilarious shot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost hear Bob's cackle.
I got an idea.
There you go.
So were they just using like a dummy with like the green cover, or is this just a dummy with nothing, or what's physically there?
What shot are you talking about? I might be a second
So
behind.
the shot in the closet, looking in the mirror.
Oh, I think that's all digital. I think this is
Okay.
all
Nothing.
kind of added, So this is a piece of art.
Like the plate. Is there a plate showing the other side?
No, I think it's all. I think the plate is the door, and they just snapped this piece of art on there. He's not doing a lot of movement. But, oh, maybe you're right. There is a movement there. So maybe that is the dummy. And it could also be a double too. We used double, dummy, hand doubles, pretty much anything that was efficient.
Was there a guy right underneath the camera who was doing like the legs and stuff like that?
In some
legs and
shots,
arms and hands.
yeah, in some shots it's a performer with kind of like the camera on his chest. In other shots, like going up the stairs with dummy cam. I think there's a lot more dummy cam coming up. I think dummy cam is still available at Leonetti's if you want to rent it.
What was Sherlyn like?
As I recall, she was great. She was happy to be there.
No drama.
Yeah, no. There were only a handful of actors that ever brought
Should we name
outside.
them?
Well, let me think. Okay, hold on.
I've got
a big
them
handful.
tattooed on my back. It's a good looking shot.
It's a very economical show that way.
Did you do the same thing with Zemeckis that you did with every other director, Gil, in terms of like doing the meeting with the shot list and all that? Because I always thought that was pretty effective for this kind of production.
We did something like that. We didn't actually sit down, and say, "Give me a shot list," but we walked through how and what he was planning on doing.
I'm always
And they didn't
shocked.
mind. These guys didn't mind doing it. They really kind of liked it. I mean, I think
it's a good
nobody
exercise.
had ever really, even Walter. Walter would, everyone said to me, be careful. Walter's a partner. Just do what he wants to do. If it costs more money, don't worry about it. I go, no, we're not doing that. And even Walter, when I said, can we go over? Can you walk me through what you're going to do?
That's what got them into trouble to begin with, by thinking like that.
Right.
No, doing it our way is what made the show fly.
Well, I don't remember necessarily Zemeckis, but I remember, with like Rodman, for instance, or a couple others. I think I was even in some of these meetings. Just, hearing how you kind of controlled the budget and controlled the daily activity by understanding, what their pursuit was and their list, so you could communicate really well with them.
Well, a lot of the newer, you mentioned Rodman and some of the younger directors. When you'd say to them, tell me what you're going to do. Tell me how you're going to shoot it. They immediately go to the script and basically tell you the story. And I would stop them and say, no. I know the story. I read the script. I don't. You have to tell me about the script. Just tell me how you're going to shoot it. Tell me who's going to move where. How's the camera going to move, and how you're going to capture whatever you're going to capture. That's all.
Yeah, the game plan.
And it could take
brilliant.
15 minutes. It really could take 15 minutes. Most of the time, it took 3 hours.
I don't know why that's not something that stays with current productions. There's very few productions that I work with today that do that kind of stuff. It blows me away. It's like, okay, I'm burning money.
So our friend from the props department says that they were filming
the week of prep we really felt was a week of prep. Make sure you get what you want, and make sure we get what we want. And part of that is to understand what's in your head as to how you're going to shoot it.
It's a really nice Bellissimo Ballardinelli effect right there. A little squib in the costume.
So our friend who'd worked on props says that they filmed this at night in Simi Valley. It was so cold that he was holding the pistol for Isabella next to a heater, so it wasn't like freezing when it's in their garter belt. Before every
Were
shot.
those full loads or? Yeah, we had a great effects group as well, Charlie Ballardinelli and Tommy Bellissimo, who were with us for nearly all of it. And I don't ever remember an issue other than the Demon Knight explosion, but that wasn't those guys and that wasn't their fault.
I recently found out that in the early days of silent films, they were using live rounds.
Yes. And arrows too.
Yeah.
We used to shoot arrows into boards under their costumes.
Yeah, I was watching a video where they were talking about, like in the old samurai movies, how they would do that, and they take off the arrow tip, but they put these little prongs and they shoot them relatively for real into boards that were underneath the actor's clothes that they stick in. So like it wouldn't kill you, but it would really, really hurt if it missed.
Back when movie making was a lot more fun, when we didn't have safety regulations.
Well, Todd, you'll appreciate this. I once talked to Bud Westmore about Creature from the Black Lagoon. I asked him how about setting fire to the creature. He said, "Yeah, we just poured alcohol on him and set him on fire." He said, "It'll burn you, but you can get by."
I used to know an effects guy who would tell the PAs to go buy him beer while he was working, and he would say, "The more the beer, the bigger the bomb."
It's like chemistry.
Chemistry with the drunk person.
The worst kind of chemistry.
I love this wig that they put on the Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah.
Weird. Crypt Keeper with wigs.
What happened to all
the
this
Crypt Keeper
stuff?
with wigs or with feet?
It's probably still in that storage unit in Oxnard. In fact, we should go shoot some wraparounds for a future system season up there. So all these skeletons, everything it came from our studio too. We're constantly providing for the wraparound week.
Hey, Gil, do you know what happened to the horse and rider from House on Haunted Hill? In the glass case.
I don't know if Gil, can you hear us?
Gil.
What?
I don't think you heard me.
William's
Gil, I
asking-
asked you
William, say it
if
again?
you knew what happened to the horse and rider in the glass case from House on Haunted Hill.
0 for 2.
I don't think you can hear me.
Gil, can you hear me?
He's in Canada. We censor that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I always like to ask what you guys are working on that you want to shout out, or any sites or anything you want to promote. Todd, start with you.
We are just wrapping up on Yellow Jackets, its final season. We're also doing this crazy Sony show that I can't name, but You probably would know if you did a little sniffing around. Just a big show. It's in Vancouver right now. We got a couple other features that are just about to go. What else? We just had a feature called Pitfall come out on Friday.
Oh, cool.
July 24th, Pinocchio Unstrung comes out, which is hilarious and very much this kind of Tales from the Crypt horror comedy stuff. And there's probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. Mayfair Witches, a couple months, stuff.
All right, William. Anything you wanna shout
I've got
out?
a feature. Well, I've got a feature that I'm working on that we got half the money, just trying to get the other half, and you've been shooting tests and stuff like that, and the tests are cool. So that's about all I can say about it at the moment. But yeah.
And William,
I'm
you have your own
excited.
YouTube page, right?
I do.
don't think I'm
Called
getting you
Undertaking
guys.
Cinema.
Cinema.
Yeah, and
Check that out.
yeah, I'm gonna do some interviews of some people. some. In fact, I've got an interview coming up of Christian
Something's wrong with
Sabal
my,
who shot.
Reception. I'm not hearing anyone's
shot,
voice
oh, okay. Oh, we lost
except
you.
Todd's.
All right, great. And Alan,
Sure. Well, it's podcast, more podcasts. We're into the second season of John Kiriaku's Dead Drop, where the first season was What Makes a Spy Tick. He told the story of why he ratted out the U.S. torture program and then got sentenced to 23 months in federal prison. In season 2, he talks about that time he spent in federal prison and how his training as a spy served him incredibly well as a prisoner in a federal penitentiary. So that's season 2 of John Kiriaku's Dead Drop, available wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
yeah, John, I think Alan, I think you should have John do a prison cookbook.
As a matter of fact, one of the episodes that's coming up this season is all about food, glorious food. He talks about his friend Mark, who was an amazing prison chef. Now, they didn't have a stove or anything. They would take a bucket of water and the plate from the wall socket, and so 2 live wires into the bucket of water, and then you would put all the ingredients into plastic bags and boil it in the bucket of boiling water. And they would put together amazing meals. The Italians, who were one of the factions unto themselves, they had dinner every night at 8. They did not eat the prison food. Somehow they got a hold of all kinds of amazing ingredients that somehow got smuggled into the prison for them, and they would cook them in this rather dangerous, primitive way. And the meals, John says, were amazing, restaurant quality.
Love it.
So we do talk about food.
Great. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everyone in the chat for coming along. Oh, someone in the chat wants to know if you, Alan Gill, if you're doing any conventions, or actually if any of you are doing any conventions coming up.
Nothing planned upcoming. Yeah, I know I'm personally passing on LA HorrorCon or HorrorCon LA, whatever the hell it was called, because what is the point?
Todd, do you have any conventions coming up?
I am also passing on that one, but thank you. We just literally earlier this week got back from Monsterpalooza, so that was crazy, and my butt is sore from walking around for 3 days. But it was fun. I just don't have. I'm sure we're gonna do some more stuff for Pinocchio and Strong. I just I don't have anything quite yet. So stay tuned to my IG page, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate everyone for listening. I'd really appreciate if everyone give us a rating or review on iTunes, a like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at Dads From The Crypt Talk on TikTok. And with that, I thank you for listening to Dads From The Crypt.
Follow Dads From The Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.